Oh, do we have to do one? We normally just do it wherever.
We'll eventually, like, get through just talking about stuff, and then you need to listen to them.
You can also totally talk, dude. You do not have to be quiet or respectful or even polite.
It's in my nature.
I know, you're way too polite.
I tell her that pretty much constantly.
You gotta get salty. You gotta think about, like, what would Denzel Washington do if he were saving a child that were kidnapped in Mexico? And then you be Denzel, and Isaac is the child.
Yeah, that whole premise resides on the fact that I know who Denzel Washington is.
Oh.
See, you're assuming that she knows what the movie
Man on Fire.
Man on Fire is about, and what, in fact, the movie Man on Fire is.
This is even better if you don't.
Dude, you're letting the civilians get killed. What the heck? Denzel wouldn't let... no, Denzel would let that happen.
No, Denzel would never let that
No, he'd let it happen if it was for the sake of saving the child.
Dakota Fanning.
Dakota Fanning, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I like Dakota Fanning.
Yeah, so when Dakota Fanning was like a kid, like she's maybe like, I don't know, 11? No, maybe 13. I don't know, she's young. But she's in this rad movie where basically she's in maybe Mexico City? Somewhere that's populated in Mexico. And, you know, I don't know what's populated and unpopulated.
Geography and stuff.
Yeah, I'm a little hazy on Mexico, unfortunately.
That's what Mexico will do to you.
But, so her parents are fairly well off, so they hire a bodyguard. And then basically her dad sets up a scheme where he's going to let Dakota Fanning get kidnapped by people he hires so that they will get an insurance payout when Denzel Washington is killed because he's an alcoholic. So they hire him knowing that he's going to be like kind of a weak bodyguard. They figure he's just going to get killed. And then she'll get taken. Then they pay the ransom money. Then they get a cut of that money back plus the insurance money. So it's basically an insurance scam. But it all goes wrong. Denzel Washington gets shot but survives, kills a bunch of these dudes. They turn out to be corrupt cops that are all involved with a cartel. So then Denzel Washington basically goes on like a sort of detective, sort of killing spree to get all these guys, and it gets Dakota Fanning back. And Christopher Walken is like his ex-Special Forces buddy that like hooks him up with guns and is like his fixer. It's pretty rad. It's a good movie, but it's a tale of redemption. So I have to be
an alcoholic who saves kidnapped children.
You just have to. You have to
swear like one.
No. Denzel Washington like never curses. He just has presence.
And his presence set people on fire.
And
I'm pretty sure shoves bombs up their butts. I'm pretty sure that was a scene.
Oh my god, you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
He does. He puts like C4 in a Charger.
C4 enemas. They're not the best thing in the world.
You ever see those things, like actual pictures of the Chargers?
Of what? C4 or enemas?
No. But those little plastic things.
I certainly hope that's not actually a thing.
Those plastic things are called Chargers, and people use them to smuggle contraband, like into prisons.
Oh yeah, okay. You are talking about the thing up the butt, right?
Yes,
okay.
yes.
It would definitely clear out any blockage you had.
It just made
a lot more.
But he like handcuffed that guy to a chain link fence and then put the bomb.
Or was it a car?
It was a car.
No, it was like the hood of a car.
It was a car, and then the car explodes while he's walking away looking cool. Man, I forgot all about that.
Yeah, that's ironically the money shot of the scene.
Oh no! Oh dear. Yeah, you're totally right too. Because that's like the box art with the flames behind him. That movie's got some very cool. It's Ridley Scott that did the. He directed that movie. He did the original Alien, but he does some cool stuff where he records it on actual film, and he does like a double exposure thing. So some parts look like it's done on film, so it'll like speed up weird or get like jerky, like that used to happen with older recordings when you had to like hand crank them. And that's why a lot of old movies look really out of time, because they hand crank them, but if they did it too fast or too slow, the frames... Like, you play it back at, like, 24 frames a second, it's like a normal movie. Mm-hmm. But, like, if they cranked it way too fast, like a machine gun, then you get, like... That's how they used to do, like, slow motion. You would, like, have an automated thing that would go, like... and fire off all those frames, and then when you play it back, normally it looks like slow-mo. Mm-hmm. So, like, yeah, you could do that, and, like, he did that for the movie Domino, too, which did not do as well. It was a cool movie. That's Keira Knightley. She's like a bounty hunter.
That's a movie I'm unfamiliar with.
That's a good movie. It's based off a real lady, though, and apparently they were not very faithful to her actual story. But it's cool. It's a good movie. Cinematography's good.
Well, that being said...
Man, that was a tangent.
This is the Just Interesting podcast. I'm Isaac.
I'm James.
And we have, sitting here, my wonderful wife, Chelsea. And you may occasionally hear whining in the background, my wonderful puppy, who is very sad because he is in a crate, so he is more quiet and just in control because he can't control himself around people.
He's a charming, delightful little rascal.
Who
Thank
hopefully...
you for clarifying that the whining in the background is not your wife.
No,
I appreciate that.
it's the dog, most of the time. But hopefully this one will not make an attempt at your treasures,
Oh no.
like my family's dog.
Oh man. I still can't believe that that cracks me up. to
You
this
were
day.
you were the only dog in his entire life, and I can say that because he's dead now, that I ever saw actually go for and try to physically.
Well, I know, because I like had seen that dog other times. He was totally fine. I don't know what it was. I smelled like
I
a
think
French fryer. I also
you smelled like a French fry. It was
late.
like midnight.
Yeah, that's
and
true.
It was a
late.
basement, and he was all cool, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, just went right to plunder you, and it
He
luckily missed.
Yeah.
So luckily, Shepard's a bit smaller than that. You'll at least have some reaction time if he'll jump up.
Right.
Or something.
It's true.
So.
He's wily though.
He's a puppy and he's part terrier. That's what's gonna happen.
That's true.
So
They're wily creatures.
yeah. So all the hype that I've been talking about for like the past since we started this podcast. So like 4 or 5 weeks. I don't know. Fallout 4 came out on Tuesday. So like 3 days ago. And it's good. It's good.
I'm so glad
It's
too.
good times. There are people having launch issues and
Yeah.
just problems with things. Actually, surprisingly, more people on consoles are having issues than PC, which is the opposite of what I thought it would be.
That's how it was though for Fallout 3 on 360 as well. When that game initially launched,
Oh,
there were
really?
a lot. There were like I know. I got some corrupted saves and things like that. I had the same thing with Skyrim. A lot of that stuff got patched, as far as I know.
Now, everything I'm saying is based on 7 hours of game, well, about 8 hours of gameplay.
And you said you got how far? Like travel?
Oh man, I got like through the first 2 story missions. I haven't even made it to Boston, which is the main city yet, just because I have I've got a case of the loot, and I've got a real bad case of the loot.
So you start off outside of Lexington?
I don't
Is
wanna
it connected to Lexington?
No, you start off in the vault, and then you get out, and
So you actually start the vault?
Oh yeah, no business. There's a whole story thing, and as I've said before, I'm not going to care too much about spoilers in this podcast, but in this case I will, because you're going to play this eventually.
That's a good point.
I know you will. So I'll avoid the spoilers of what happens, but you start in the vault, you come out, and you kind of start in your original neighborhood that you were in.
Right.
Because the one thing that everybody does, you start the game before the bombs fell. And you kind of
Right.
run to the vault, and then you come out later.
Because the setup, you're like in the bathroom of your house, right? And that's where you do your character creation, and then
Yeah,
the
yeah,
evacuation, all that. Yeah.
So you basically...
Is that all the same pretty much from what they showed in the trailer?
Yeah, no, it's almost word for word. They
Okay.
cut some things out for time, but on the whole, it's the same, and it's fantastic. It's a great start. It is one of the best starting sequences to a game.
I like that a lot.
I
I like
played the
Threes a
only
lot, where you were like a baby.
Yeah,
that was kind of
great.
cool.
The
And
game
it's Liam
still
Neeson's-
cinches it for me, and again, Mass Effect will always come up with me. Mass Effect 2 still has the best opening to a game I've
The
experienced.
ship. Does it
Oh,
show
that's
it
where
blow up?
it starts the game by killing you.
Yeah, and then are you a clone or what's?
No.
I don't remember
They
that.
rebuild you. They're all like, well, a clone might not be the real Shepherd. We need the real Shepherd. So they get your body back, and they
'Cause they gotta
you
know you got the
basically
secret
become
sauce.
an android.
Yeah, okay.
You get the secret sauce in your bones, and you become an android. And there's a whole that's all part of the story and everything.
I got through half of Mass Effect 2 and I never finished it.
the one DLC
really
in
should have.
the one DLC in the third game, Citadel, which is amazing. Citadel was kind of like the developers' farewell to the series. Well, not farewell to the series, but farewell to Shepard and the crew.
Was this the ending that they redid after people got mad?
No, that was a free one DLC they released that was like a patch to the game.
Right.
This was a
okay.
DLC that is just like the last DLC they released, and it's like a house. The first half of the game is an actual like gameplay kind of story, like go fight things are happening.
Yeah.
And the second half is literally you are organizing a house party with all of your
Are
crewmates.
you being serious?
Yeah, and having just good times talking to all the NPC people.
That's kind of awesome.
So many inside jokes.
That's very reminiscent of
reward,
something that Knights of the Old Republic would do.
And it only really rewards the people who have played the entire series. Because the jokes, the inside stuff.
Do the people at the party, is that dependent on who lives or dies based on your previous save?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now,
apparently there's a lot of carryover from Mass Effect 1 to Mass Effect 2 based on your personal save game, which I knew nothing about. Because when I played Mass Effect 2, it was on a different system and with a different save. I had to make a new save. So I didn't have any carryover. I just rebuilt my character.
It's so bad because about once a year, maybe once every other year now, I do a full playthrough of all 3 games because
that's crazy.
I really can't just play one of the games.
You must have the timing down pat though, because man, like Mass Effect 1 took me a long time to get through, and I tried.
It depends on how much you do.
I tried to avoid like all the side stuff and just blaze through, and I probably got through it in maybe 20, 22 hours.
Yeah, no, it still takes. The fastest.
So that's like an 80-hour commitment.
I've blown through it in 12 hours. And I've done what you could consider most of the side quests. That will take me about 20 hours now to do a full playthrough of Mass Effect 1. Because I'm really efficient at it.
That's crazy.
Mass Effect 2 is about... Actually, all the games break down. Honestly, they take me each about 20 hours. 2 and 3 now take a bit longer, closer to 30, I think, because of the DLC and just everything there.
Yeah.
But anyway,
there's a lot of DLC
the opening,
for 2 and 3, right?
There is a decent bit for 2 and 3, yeah.
Okay.
And the DLCs are more... They're actually, no. The number of them is not high, but the quality is...
Yeah.
And the length. Like, the Citadel, like everything. But I was going to say about Citadel is, when you were saying about a clone, like, that's the plot of Citadel. They made... Their backup, in case they couldn't bring you back to life, was they made a clone. And the one lady that was working on the project like escaped with the clone and now is like trying to take over your ship and everything with your clone.
Oh no.
So you have to fight your clone, and it's pretty great. And your clone is the same like class you chose, so they fight you using powers from that class. So it's like little immersion things that are like,
that's kind of cool.
So yeah. And anyway, but Fallout 4 has a wonderful opening sequence, and it's very like Bethesda wants you to know this is not a happy world. This is not happy place fun times. This is wasteland of doom.
Even from the little I saw of you playing, it is a lot more upbeat in general, just in the way it looks than 3 was. 3 was a grim game, dude. 3 was a grim game. It made you feel like...
And we talked about this before, like, it was even just the filter over the landscape. Yeah. Everything was green or brown or everything. The color in this game, the character design, everything feels softer.
It does. It feels a lot softer. The characters are way more expressive and less... Because the other one went for, like, a gritty look, but a lot of times it was gritty in a way that just made it feel very hostile all the time. This one feels a lot more like... I don't know, fun? Yeah, I don't want to say that Fallout 3 wasn't fun, but Fallout 3 made you feel
fun
rough.
Is the right word. Fun is the right word. Like, so far I've had fun with the game, and I would say the personality of the area you're walking around.
Yeah.
At some points, I even find myself going, like, this just feels like a deserted town, not like something that's been, in a Fallout or a post-nuclear world.
And this is 200 years after?
This is 200 years after the bombs fall. So it's actually right around the same time as
3.
As 3.
Yeah,
just in the Commonwealth.
I like that.
Not
I
the
like
Capital
that a lot.
Wasteland.
That it's just a different spot.
Yeah, and there's already been references to the Capital Wasteland, like, in the game. So, and like I said, I'm not far into it at all. Yeah. That being said, for this game, more so than any other game I have played, I have already had to go to online, like little forums or Reddit or something, to really quickly check, hey, how do I throw a grenade?
Explain the grenade thing again, because this sounds a little funky.
I haven't actually done it yet, because since I looked up the answer, I haven't gone and played. Yeah. But they basically, and I think this is what you kind of said earlier, which is it must have been a console. Like, it must have been
what you were describing, it sounds like a design based around a controller.
Yeah, what the design that they did was, it's to throw a grenade or a Molotov cocktail or a throwable thing, damage item, instead of, you basically hold your melee button until you hear a click, and then you release. Versus just tapping your melee button, which will click it. Now, they tell you in the menu that the button is... like, punch or gun bash or grenade. But I keep, I tried equipping the grenade and then tapping it, and it wasn't throwing it. So I was like, what gives? So there is a held timing portion to it. The other thing is the whole crafting system that they've developed, which is like the base building thing you saw.
Yeah.
That has potential. I did the missions for the first starting area, which is like when your hometown becomes one of the bases for some people.
Okay.
And they run you through some basic, here's an intro to this and how it kind of works, but it's very vague. So I had to go online and check a couple of those things on how to do this. And,
okay.
So they don't explain it all that well, but in today's... I don't really dock them too many points for that, because in today's society where everyone has access to an online guide, anyone can look up an answer to this, and the answers are readily available. I don't dock them too much. It's just a little disappointing to see a game that has so much thought put into it,
that doesn't
not communicate itself to the player that well.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff though in I was saying this earlier in Fallout 3 and in Skyrim as well.
Oh yeah, Skyrim
is similar.
Skyrim is a game I do have experience with.
Yeah, where you kind of you might even think you understand what's going on, but until you look at a more comprehensive explanation, you're like, oh, I didn't realize that any of this functionality existed.
I basically consigned myself to nowadays you get a game come out and immediately there are all these 13 tips you need to know before you start playing, because I follow all the gaming websites.
I avoid so much of that now.
I skim through them because it's not I'm someone who's very, very prone to restarting my character after a couple hours because I learn everything and then I'm like, okay, now
and then
I
you
got
realize
it.
that
I missed
your
all
choices
this.
were
So, but I've made a commitment. I'm gonna take this character through at least till the end of the story, of the main story.
Yeah.
Before I would start another character. I've made that commitment to myself.
That I can understand. And in a game like that, it really does affect your whole play experience. And if it's a long game, then you're like,
right.
You know what?
But I haven't made
any
mistakes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just been.
And after you have a build that you like to start, you might as well play it out anyway, because that's kind of part of the game is having challenges that your character's not equipped to meet, and then you adapt.
Exactly. And I'm going with the gunslinger pistol VATS build, and there are going to be plenty of situations where I'm going to be like, man, I wish I had the endurance perk, or something, more endurance or that type of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think you just took the shield out. You actually have to blow up the
that's right. I haven't done that.
I hope not, or you'll walk in here and die, and I'll be wrong.
No, you're right.
Oh, look at that. I just shoot it with bullets, because that's how energy fields work.
Right.
Oh, no, there it goes.
This is a, I'm blanking on it. What do they call it in Half-Life 1? The original Half-Life?
I never played Half-Life.
Any of them?
Nope.
Oh, man. It's definitely worth checking out. They're a little dated now. Even Half-Life 2 is a little dated. And unfortunately, Half-Life 2 now, the episodes will never be completed because they've officially canned.
Well, and all I've heard about Half-Life, and from what I've seen of it, is it was hey, we built a physics engine, so we built a game to show how you did the physics engine.
I would have thought the same thing if I hadn't played it when it came out. There's much more to it than that.
That's what
so many games rip off what Half-Life 2 established in terms of first-person mechanics.
Oh, okay.
So it's honestly still worth playing. It's very short. You would find it to be incredibly easy compared to other games.
I'm sure.
You dropping 20 hours a piece on each Mass Effect, you're gonna go into Half-Life and be like, oh, this is
But overall,
for children.
with going back to Fallout, with 8 hours in and not having done much of the story, which is ironic for me because I love story in games, I will get there and I will keep kind of an update on just how it's going and what my thoughts are. Thus far, I'd say it's worth it. The controls are tight. You still have classic Bethesda glitches that are occurring, but nothing game breaking. Which was my initial fear, we have huge launch issues.
Yeah. You're on PC though too. If you have an issue, PC is the best platform to be on.
Yeah, because people will already be like, oh, try this.
Yeah,
consoles, it's like, wait for the update.
Yeah, right. And if you're really out of luck and there's no official patch, probably somebody created a new, INI file, or there are workarounds for things.
And it was even nice to be able to, for the first time, I've never really, even having games on PC, I've never really tweaked them. I've just kind of played them stock unless there was a problem that I had to figure out. In this case, I turned it on and I've never noticed field of view. as being an issue before. But playing a game right up at a screen like this, instead of, in front of my face versus sitting back on a couch, I did not notice how, it was making my eyes hurt. The fact that the FOV was low.
Yeah.
So I actually...
that can mess with you.
I did go into the INI file and, changed it. And I'm having a much better experience because of it. So I will give the PC gaming that. You can modify little things like that. But it's interesting because I only needed to modify it because it was a PC. That's the irony. Yes,
was that field of view different because it was the PC version?
No,
console
it works for the console version.
I see what you're saying.
It's a narrower field of view because you're farther back from your screen, generally. So I really had to change it just because I was playing on
much
PC.
Closer,
So it was nice to be able to change that. There was another thing I changed, which was some shooting mechanic thing where when you're playing with a mouse and how in some games they'll add kind of cursor acceleration?
Yes.
Which is great for consoles and controllers.
It can
be. Okay, there you go.
Have to abandon that guy.
It did not feel all that great. No, so if you go in, I basically just added something in that this one Reddit user had suggested that removes it. And that's why.
And
now it feels like every
correct?
other PC shooter.
Yeah.
Which is, hey, look, I need to aim there. There we go. So again, overall, highly recommend thus far. But I'm only 8 hours in. Take that for what.
That's a good sign, though, man. Because if you're liking it so far, this is usually the roughest part of the Fallout games, is when you start.
Oh, because you're weak, because everything will kill you.
Yeah, everything's bad.
You know what's funny? I haven't actually died by getting shot that many times. I've died by mines and tripwires.
Yeah,
that set
100%.
off mines. Yeah. And grenades.
No,
so many grenades have killed me.
That happens a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's...
Well, I literally took on... one of those missions. I didn't think I was supposed to be able to do it first without the power armor, but I didn't take the power armor, and the only way I kind of took down this automobile plant full of raiders was the raiders themselves weren't that strong individually. There were a lot of them.
Yeah.
So they would mob me and I would die. So I found this, I walked around the whole place and found this little spot where they'd come up one at a time and kind of look over this wall at me and shoot at me, and I'd kill them in succession until they were all gone.
Yep.
And then they're like, okay.
You gotta do a corner.
So it's like any Bethesda, even Skyrim. It's like you find the way to make it work, and that's what makes the game fun. I found this way to make that work. I shouldn't have been able to do that, but I did.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's enough about Fallout 4 for at least this week. The other thing I wanted to mention is the other thing I was waiting for on Monday was Microsoft releasing the backwards compatible titles. The initial,
right,
for the 360 titles for Xbox One. Gotta say I'm disappointed, as are a lot of people, apparently. The titles, for the most part, are a lot of things that were just available on the arcade, or what was the name of the store you mentioned?
Games on Demand.
Games on Demand. Yeah, which makes sense.
Yeah.
But my big disappointment was obviously Mass Effect 2 and 3 were missing. They do the original one, which gives me... And the fact that on the individual run, kind of, you can vote on what games you're interested in. 2 and 3 are on.
Yeah, and I didn't know
list.
that was a thing.
Yeah.
I'm impressed by that.
Yeah,
that's a cool way to do it.
So the 2 and 3 are on the list, so I am confident they will come at some point.
Yeah.
It basically just means, I'm going to wait to buy one until I confirm that these games are on. I can put those in, put them on there. But a lot of other games were missing that people were upset about. Like I mentioned to you, Rockstar, as a publisher, seems to be missing entirely.
Yeah.
From the program thus
I said
far.
this to you before, I'm not super surprised.
Yeah.
Those games are technically unpredictable.
And it'll make you feel good at least. Everyone was upset that Red Dead wasn't on there. That was the one thing, one game I saw over and over again was, why isn't Red Dead on there?
Yeah, I don't blame people. That game is seriously, if you had never played a sandbox game and Red Dead was your first one, it would be the perfect way to get into them, because it's got a really nice difficulty scale. The only thing that's rough for people that don't play those games is the racing missions. They give you a couple horse racing missions early on in the game. They're brutal, dude.
I played that. You had me play that because you were like, "You've never played Red Dead. Here you go."
And I had you play one of those racing missions.
It was the beginning of the game, and one of the first things you come across is this lady who's like, "Race to horses."
Bonnie McFarlane. Yeah.
Bonnie McFarlane.
I completely forgot about that. Yeah, it teaches you to use the horse early on because, and in their defense, using a horse is kind of important to the game.
You have no ammo, dude.
It helps you. Yeah, I
You've
haven't
had
had ammo
no
for a while.
ammo.
I just keep walking around past people, and I'm like, eventually this will all work out, and I'll find a gun.
But yeah,
but yeah, it's. I don't know why
And
it
you did.
opened that way, but it's
but
it gets
yeah,
better.
So Red Dead wasn't on there, and no, neither were the other Rockstar games, and a lot of titles, even like Halo Reach, which is coming.
Yeah.
They basically said, hey, these are our initial, but believe me, the next wave is going to have Halo Reach. And
The 360 originally was even worse with backwards compatibility.
And that's something I didn't
for titles.
know.
Yeah, it was rough.
I think I set my expectation, and a lot of people set their expectations high.
Yeah, and I can understand that. I don't blame anybody who was hoping for a better list, but it doesn't surprise me tremendously.
I have confidence though that in time, it will work out, and
Yeah.
by then I'll have price drops anyway. And,
Exactly.
That type of thing. So people are a little disappointed about that, but it will
it will
get
improve.
better in time, and
Yeah.
by then Halo 6 will be out anyway. So.
Microsoft has been very proactive in the past with allowing older games to work, which honestly surprised me from the transition between the Xbox and the 360, but now I've just, it's only a matter of time.
Right.
Most of the games, they will be able, if they can get it to work, at some point it will work. That seems to be what happens.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, and that's really nice to see. I sold tons of my original Xbox games when I first got a 360 because they didn't work.
Right,
And then they
most
added,
people do.
They added compatibility in later, and so I bought back a lot of those games, sometimes for more than I paid originally.
Oh, no.
Because a few of them were less common. But
Yeah.
then other games, I was like, I can get this for $2 now.
Yep.
It was really weird. I got like Mercenaries. I don't know if you ever played the...
I know what... Was Mercenaries... I
It's-
think I might be getting it confused with a different game.
It's a sandbox game where you pick one of three, mercenaries, and then you go to North Korea...
Oh, goodness.
And you run across the country hunting bounties, and they do the deck of cards, Vietnam style, where you have.
This sounds like a
each
game that
card.
had some controversy surrounding it.
At the time, not really, because North Korea was not taking it seriously.
Well, I mean, yeah.
But no, and it's a very interesting game. The second one I think was Venezuela.
Oh,
I'm trying to
goodness.
remember now. Yeah, that game was probably mechanically better.
You know,
I didn't like
what's
it as much
interesting to
because I
me
thought.
Is
Yeah.
Oh, and sorry, not to interrupt you.
No,
What's
no.
interesting to me is I am such a mainstream title player and stuff. There are so many good games that are out there that I don't either know about or play just because either it's a time thing with me.
Yeah.
I'm just I know that, and I think I've talked about this before. I know the big title is going to probably be good.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna stick with those.
I totally
And
understand that. Honestly,
I rarely branch off. If you look at my desktop, it's all mainstream
You
crap.
gotta be a little bit more of a hipster sometimes.
Yeah.
I'll make you a beanie.
Right.
You did make me a beanie, and it was nice.
It's kind of funny. I own a lot of games that are, I guess you'd call them more niche games, but most of those I haven't beaten.
And you always show me ones, especially through the random Steam games.
That was
what's the samurai one?
Oh,
Samurai Gunn.
Samurai Gunn.
Samurai Gunn is
that
a great
game's amazing.
game.
That's a game I've
So
played.
is Nidhogg.
Yeah,
and,
oh man. Nidhogg.
What was the other one?
I only found out about Nidhogg because a friend of mine, you probably know Tyler. You remember Tyler?
Sword Fights. I don't know if you saw that one.
Yeah, they're simple primary
played
colored
Nidhogg.
people.
I
played
I know James.
Yeah, you
played
did.
Nidhogg.
That's right. Just stabbed me in the
saying.
face.
Yeah.
Dude, that game. But he told me about that because he was like, yeah, these people keep playing this weird arcade game in between matches at this one fighting tournament, and he showed me this game, and he was telling me all about it, and he showed me people playing it. I was like, this is amazing. That was in 2008. He showed me that game. I didn't play Nidhogg until 2013.
Oh wow!
It came
I
out.
didn't.
For a
Because
long
it only
time,
got
what
a lot,
happened was
it only got a lot of popularity.
it was literally one or two physical machines that they toured with at certain shows.
Oh,
It was
okay.
a game that was being tested and improved and worked on for a very long time. The guy that made it, one of the guys, teaches.
He was a teacher, because
He's a professor
remember
at
when
a
this
certain
game
school. I'm trying to remember now.
got very popular.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, this must have just come out. It was out for or in development for that.
For ages.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
No, that's really interesting. But there was that. There was another game. It was kind of like the Samurai Gunn that we were playing.
Oh, Towerfall.
Yeah, that was entertaining.
There's Towerfall. What's the one that's on Steam? Towerfall.
I think
Something
another game I saw came out because It's interesting. I know a lot about these random games. I just don't play them.
Yeah.
So there was a game. It was like Duck Game. Duck Game came out. It looked exactly like Samurai Gunn type of like quick little battle arena thing.
I'm a little out of date too now
yeah.
on some of these games,
but
I haven't picked up.
Yeah, it's interesting to see those, and there's even some slightly larger I would say larger indie games like Rebel Galaxy, which is out. And
yes.
As much as I said I was so interested in it, I'm still waiting to play it till a Steam sale.
Yeah.
But Kerper played it.
Oh, did he?
And he said his life was lesser when he beat it because he couldn't play it anymore. So I'm excited to play that.
That's high praise,
eventually.
man. That's high praise from him.
Well, he's the space game guy.
I know, like
so.
he's pretty discerning when it comes to that type of game. So anything that he recommends is usually like.
Oh yeah, and what's funny is I'm the one who told him about that game.
Yeah,
so I will have to get to it eventually.
That's awesome. Allie just got a 3DS. I was actually going to mention this earlier.
Oh,
I completely forgot. She got a.
Did you find one for pretty good prices?
Her sister was like, "Oh yeah, I want to like get." She was saying
for
like,
her birthday, right?
Yeah,
right,
Allie wants to play this game Okami Den. And that's on the DS, right? And I was like, yeah. So her family, like, we all chipped in and got her a 3DS. Because I was saying, like, we could just get her a DS for, like, pretty cheap. And Rachel was like, no, I want to get her something that's really nice. So we'll get her a 3DS. I was like, oh, all right. So we got her 3DS. And she straight up, Kerper lent me, like, a stack of DS games ages ago. But I guess at some point, like, I don't have a DS, so I don't know why he gave me these games. I remember really like going through his house. He just kept handing me games. He's like, "You should play this and this and this." So I had this stack, and like I just hadn't touched them. And then Allie's got this DS, so she's just been playing Advance Wars Dual Strike, and just like
she's been playing Advance Wars.
She loves Advance Wars, and so she's been having a blast with it. But it just cracks me up. Like
she and I have to like doing our next podcast if we're just hanging, like hand that back and forth because I will totally play her.
Dude,
I own it. It's great.
We should all get in.
Oh, we can just do a 3-player. That's right, because you passed around.
Yeah.
Oh, Advanced Wars.
You get Chelsea in, man. Get Chelsea to do some Advanced Wars.
Advanced Wars is
good.
Such a good. I played whatever the one on Game Boy Advanced was.
Yeah, they had two. They had Advanced Wars and Advanced Wars Black Hole Rising.
Yeah, that was the one I played.
Yeah.
And then I played the Dual Strike, and I would love to see another game come out.
They have one after that.
Wars. They do.
Days of Ruin, which is like a Mad Max apocalypse.
No, Days of Ruin doesn't count. Days of Ruin, I tried playing, and just I did not appreciate the grittier aesthetic. It just didn't fit the, hey, we're kids, let's go shoot guns and fight wars.
I 100% know what you're talking about.
Like, it was still the same strategy game, so at its core, it still functioned the same.
No, I know what you mean. It's got a different tone to it.
It wasn't Advanced Wars.
I miss the bright color palette.
Yes.
That's a big part of Advanced Wars because it is such a cheerful looking
and that's
game,
what Dual Strike was. It's like, look at these these anime kid characters who are going
Allie
off to war.
keeps showing me like the CEO, I guess, has these catchphrases.
Yeah, they do.
And some of them are hilarious.
Oh, my word.
The one is like, we're about to drop these fools like some fat beats. And there's one where he's like, we're going to roll them into the ocean. And I'm like, what the hell is he talking about?
Yeah, and they're talking
crazy.
again, they're talking about war. And the funny thing is, these kids are just like the COs, the commanding officers, and all these soldiers are going in to die for them.
Yeah, are they? Oh my God, there's a great comic. You ever see that comic where they're like all happy about like, hey, good fight, and then they cut to like the actual battlefield and it's just like people on fire, like and vehicles burning. I forget which Allie knows.
Oh wait, no, I think that's an Awkward Zombie comic about
that's
Advance
it.
Wars.
That's exactly it. Yeah.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Allie showed that to me a long time ago.
No, I would love to see a 3DS Advanced Wars.
So there isn't one? I haven't bothered to look.
Advanced Wars, as far as I know, ended with Days of Ruin, or is currently still sitting on Days of Ruin.
Let me ask you this. If you had to recommend, like, 2 or 3 3DS games.
3DS.
As, like, must-have, specifically 3DS games.
Especially, and I will think of Allie.
Yes, definitely. Because that's what I'm kind of looking at. I've been looking at a bunch of games. I am so unfamiliar with Nintendo properties and what games are still good.
Now, the difficult thing about this is they never drop in price.
Yeah.
So that's my first caveat. That's my first caveat to all this. The latest Pokemon game is never a bad bet.
Which is Omega whatever?
Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire.
I downloaded the demo of that on
X and
the
Y,
DSi store.
X and Y, though, I would almost recommend
That's a little cheaper.
X or Y
right?
over that.
Yeah.
No, they'll be the same because they're Pokemon games.
Well, they're the same online.
You go back to
Yes, on their store. They're cheaper if you buy used copies. You can find
but
copies
not
for
by too much. Sadly.
No,
But anyway, I'd recommend.
So X and Y, you'd say would be maybe a better way.
X
to
or
get it.
Y because
When I was looking at
Pokemon
shots
roster,
of it, it actually looks better than Omega does visually.
Yeah.
Is
Well,
it a 3DS game?
Yeah, they're both 3DS games.
Okay.
They're both the most current generation. It's just that Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire were remakes of an existing game. Of Ruby and Sapphire, which were Game Boy Advance games.
Oh,
That's what they
I didn't know
and they put
that.
them on the X and Y's engine, basically. Now, X and Y,
I see.
the only reason I recommend X and Y more is the Pokemon roster is much more robust. You constantly feel like you're tripping over new Pokemon.
I got you.
So I recommend.
That's kinda cool.
I recommend that, and I'd say get X because I have Y, and X has a cute little fairy thing.
Oh,
It's like a little stag,
ulterior
fairy
motives
stag.
here, man.
But I'd
Yeah, I don't
recommend
blame you.
those.
So, X, it says,
I recommend Mario and Luigi Dream Team, and
I looked at that actually, and I thought it looked awesome.
honestly, you don't even need to buy it. I will give you it for Allie to borrow and play, and you should play it too because the Mario and Luigi
That'd be
RPGs
fantastic.
that have been made for the handheld.
Oh wait, is this like was
are
Superstar Saga?
absolutely
Another
yes,
one of
it
them?
was.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was the only one I haven't played is Bowser's Inside Story, and I still need
That's
to do
where
that.
they go in
at
his
some point.
guts, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
But, like I played.
That was a colonoscopy.
I played them, and Dream Team is wonderful. Not only as kind of the how they moved that series forward, but
Superstar
also
Saga was like you tag team with them. Am I thinking the right thing?
yeah, no, it's
No, what was the Game Boy Advance one? What was the Game Boy Advance where they
there
first
was-
started doing this?
Well, there were two. There was Superstar Saga, which was the first one.
Oh, so that was the first one.
That was on Game Boy Advance, and then there
Oh.
was there was Partners in Time. No, wait, that was a DS one.
Partners in
Partners in
Time.
Time was the next
That's
one,
a
and that was on the
hilarious
DS.
name for anything.
And they're so funny, and the stories are just well done. The animation is beautiful,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
the sound, the music.
Yeah.
If you want to just listen to a happy, make me smile, like
Was some of that
Pump up
music
music.
in your wedding?
Yeah.
it was. It
I
was.
was just
about to
thinking
say.
like this all sounds super familiar.
I loved it so much. I put it in the wedding.
I don't blame you,
against my
man. You
wife's
guys
marriage.
probably had the best soundtrack anybody's ever given me for a wedding. Like I've been
I'm
given
glad
a lot
you
of like
thought so.
I've been given a lot of very like stereotypical like you got your country rock, you got Journey, obviously.
I mean, we had to keep the stereotypical dance songs in there, and I think I told you when you were like looking up to DJ our wedding, yeah, pick stereotypical dance songs because the only songs I have are a bunch of soundtrack stuff I want to play in the
You want to know
background.
what I did?
Which
This is
one
how
is
out of
during
touch I
dinner?
am. This is how out of touch I am. Okay.
We did that during dinner.
Oh no, we did that during dinner, but I said people need stuff to dance to, and they're not going to
Yeah.
dance to the battle
Mario
theme
and
from Mario and
Luigi.
Luigi. Yeah.
So what I did was I went on to WikiHow and I looked up what song should I have for DJing a wedding now, and that's how I got my list of like the
And that
whatever
is
shuffle.
why you were the best
never think of
DJ
that.
ever.
Now, you may or may not remember this, and I know this is off topic for the podcast, but did
Nothing's
Isaac
off
and I
topic.
walk into Everything is Awesome from the Lego
You
song?
did.
We
We
walked
did.
into the Pacific Rim theme song, because we were debating both, and I was trying to remember the
Shoot,
other
I don't remember.
I remember you guys
Right.
being up in the air about it, but it was Everything is Awesome.
Okay.
Yeah, we did walk
Wait,
into. No, wait, we did. We
That's-
did
leave
walk
to
in.
Everything is Awesome. No.
That's what the bridesmaids walked into, is Everything is Awesome, and I think we just continued it on.
You
and
did.
on.
You came in at the end of that. That's right.
Yeah, and then, I don't know what we left to. I
Yeah.
don't remember.
I forget. We were thinking
The
about
Pacific Rim theme was in there.
It was in the
Yeah.
playlist. I feel
It
like,
was
but I'm
because
not
you had
sure.
it as one of the songs to get. So remember, I got all
I
that
love
music.
that.
I didn't
Yeah,
torrent
I gave you that music. too.
anything. I just went onto YouTube and ripped all the audio.
Yeah, dude.
I've done it forever.
Tuconv is the best website ever. There are a couple out there, but
Tucon, is that what you to get up?
www.2 the number 2 conv.com. That's the website.
Oh,
I
like
use.
to convert. Okay.
Yeah, to convert.
Gotcha. I've been using Off Liberty for a long time, and Off Liberty is like one of the cleanest ones I've ever found. It's really nice.
Yeah, Tucon works real well.
I don't like taking music. I like to pay for it, and that's what I've
Yeah.
done in the past. But I know that one you gave me like not not a crazy list, but a lot of that stuff I just couldn't buy individual songs anywhere.
That was
so I was like,
exactly-
you know what? Like, I'm just gonna get these.
And
that
as
was
much as
fun
I'm not a
call.
fan of doing that entirely either,
No.
I do it because yes, it's difficult.
Dude, don't
to
get me wrong.
find.
I used to do that all the time.
I do it for Game Grumps remixes.
I've
That's pretty
literally-
much what I do it for.
I've literally gone to 100% legal everything. I pay for all my games.
That is-
I pay for all my
that
music,
is
and I pay for all my
absolutely
music,
wonderful.
my movies. It's easier now, though. See,
You
the thing
have
is,
to say that because we're recording.
no, 100%. It's so weird though, because listen. I'm just gonna say it. Like, there's plenty of stuff I used to torrent, but like, it used to be if you wanted to get a movie, it was either you torrent it or you hunt down a DVD or VHS. Like, I remember having to do that to hunt down movies that I couldn't find, and being like, well, you know what? I can't find Master of the Flying Guillotine in a store near me, and I don't want to order it from Amazon. That's an amazing movie too. We got to give you like a pop culture crash course.
I've been saying that since I married her. She still hasn't seen Back to the Future.
I tried to borrow it from someone at work, but they couldn't find it.
Oh man, yeah, Back to the Future's good. Master of the Flying Guillotine is better. no one
I
that
have
we
no idea
know in
what you're talking
person
about.
will ever agree with me because they're like, that is objectively a terrible movie. If they say it. No, it's amazing. It's like
Well, hey,
this kung fu
Speed
movie.
Race-
This dude's got a hat, and the hat has blades that pop out when he throws it. All right, that's all you need to know. It's amazing.
So do you think that they took that from Bond, or that Bond took it from them?
Oh, Bond probably took it from them. I don't even care which one came first. Oh, with Odd Job. That's
Yeah.
right. I was like, I don't even know what you're talking about. Yeah, it's Top Hat.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. That movie is a class all its own, though.
Yeah. Alrighty.
But
Well, it's been quite the.
are we done?
We've been talking very loud too.
How
I hope
long
I
has
didn't
it
overdo
been?
that. It's been about 40 minutes.
I'm sorry, I get so noisy.
No,
I just
dude,
get
I'm
excited.
sorry.
Oh.